Schramm family of employees, investors, partners, and suppliers, it is my privilege to welcome you to our press conference to share some of the exciting news that's been happening here at Schramm. I have also up here with me this afternoon some of my distinguished colleagues, Mr. Nigel Smith from Exploration Drill Masters, Mr. Craig Naiman, Director of Mining and Water Sales for Schramm, Mr. Philip Goodman, Director of Supply Chain Services for DistributionNOW, Mr. Tim Thomas, Director of Engineering for Schramm Incorporated, and Mr. Tyson Thomas, President of Thomas Drilling. One thing I'd like you to take distinct notice of is the Schramm logo, which you'll see back here, and I'd like to connect you to the picture that you see up there. On behalf, again, of all the people that make up Schramm, we're honored to be here and to share this with you. We have changed our logo to some degree to include people inside the circle. It is now important from an involvement standpoint as we talk a little bit about the collaboration and cooperation and trust required to be successful in the low commodity price environment. So we've expanded it to include these signatures to be inside the circle. You'll note in the picture, I challenge some of you to try to find some of the individuals in the picture that are also sitting up here. If you do, you might win another free wood pack little thing. One thing I would respectfully ask is that you do not throw any of those items at me while I'm doing this presentation. As you know, all of us are a part of the mining community, and it's been a tough couple of years. We all understand that. But during those couple of years, we all have eternal faith. Hope springs eternal, as a famous person once told me within the Schramm organization. I also like to just recognize that Mr. Dick Schramm, his original family, is here with us in the audience. Dick plays an important role for both me and for a lot of the younger guys that continue to be in Schramm today. And that's to sit on our shoulders, remind us of the faith you have to have, and also to be truthful into the compass of staying true north and keep going. So to Dick, we thank you for that. Without some of his sitting on our shoulders, I'm not sure we'd all still be here. But in reality, the economics of this cycle have caused us to figure out how we, as an enterprise, can not only reconstruct ourselves to survive, but then to thrive. And as we look at this, we're going to share with you 4 distinct things that is our approach to how we think we can help the mining community come through this downturn and start to begin to thrive as we look at this. Moving forward. It all begins with the trust and the faith of capital flow and core competencies. Getting people back to work and giving people the tools that they need to be successful in what's going on is where we started. We know that there's a lot of existing iron out there, so we've created some products that are there that will help those customers get their machines back to work, meet the safety compliance, and be affordable solutions as they try to get their crews back online again. So some of the items that you'll see there are a tilting top drive that provides for a hands-free pipe handling solution, a rod retention system to help with product safety, the die span spanners, which is tools that are used, again, to facilitate the hands-free operation, and then we get through the easy load and the breakout bench. These were developed by our partners in Australia, and they continue to be available today. Our goal in producing these products, again, was giving affordable solutions to the operations that are going back to work to be in compliance with safety and some productivity options. When you look at global execution, the mining community spreads the whole globe, and every part of the world has been affected in different ways by the downturn and are going to come back based on their mineral resources and begin to claw their way through. What we realized here at Schramm is that Chile plays an incredible part of the business that we have. We've had a long-term partner in Exploration Drill Masters, who has been based in Santiago, who has not only serviced faithfully the Schramm business, but has also continued to develop their own set of products to service the mining industry. When you look at the portfolio of goods that go across what Schramm produces and what EDM produces, we can offer now, by working together, a complete suite of products versus competing against. These things actually marry up very, very nicely. So, effective from this show, we will be able to say that any one of the Exploration Drill Masters people can sell Schramm products, and any one of the Schramm guys can sell the Exploration Drill Masters products. What we also are providing is that the Schramm global network of distributors and dealers will also be educated on servicing EDM products worldwide as we look to expand their technology and their value capturing tools. We believe that with Chile's presence and commitment as a mining country, that we will be together, be stronger together in Chile and move our way forward in that market. Now, when you think back to your business, or you think back to how you do things better, when you're struggling or trying to figure out how to grow, you challenge yourself to look internally and say, God, what am I good at? You know, I don't know about you guys, but I had dreams of I had all these great ideas. I wanted to be a fighter pilot, I wanted to be a football player, I wanted to be a baseball player, but at the end of the day, I'm really good at telling stories, so that's why I'm with you today, and that's what I've chosen to do. When you come and look at this, Schramm at its heart are machine builders. We had to evolve ourselves into become solutions providers so that we could give the best value to the people that we serve in the industries that we work in. One of the ways we did that was we looked across all the industries we serve. We serve water, we serve oil, we serve natural gas, as well as the mining communities. Our responsibility to the customers who trust us is to bring those best practices and those core competencies across. So I'm proud today to introduce to you the DistributionNOW, professionally known as DNOW. They come from the oil and gas space, and they are a supply chain expert. What they bring for us is a new supply chain partnership that will focus on, first and foremost, aftermarket fulfillment, and ultimately taking over our manufacturing operations. Again, these guys are the best at what they do. We're leveraging what they've learned in the oil and gas space and bringing it over to the mining space so that we can ultimately serve our customers better. Now, that's always a cliche thing, serving customers better, all the different stuff. But when you get to the root of it, we talk about capital employed. Capital employed, we all understand this in the mining community. When investment is flowing, gold prices are up, money's moving, we can do projects, we can get things going. When capital dries up, things come to a grinding, screeching, painful halt. When we looked at this, we said, listen, if we're not supply chain experts, but our customers need us to be supply chain experts. What we're really good at, we're machine builders at heart. And when you're a machine builder at heart, we want to innovate, we want to develop, we want to design, we want to solve problems for the challenges that are out there. So we partnered with DNOW, and some of the things that they have brought to the table for us is the ability to manage our inventory. And I have a small picture there of the rig pack, which is a mobile warehouse. And in that, those go out to the individual sites where the drill rigs are running, providing spare parts, inventory, consumable items, and can be stocked with anything that a customer particularly would like to have for that job site. It's a configurable solution. Roman says, well, why is that so innovative? It's the link up of the technology. So you see also in the picture that's on the right side of the slide, we bring together both RFID technology and cellular connections so that it is a 100% a consignment store to the end user. Again, we're focused on capital employed so that for the operators and the miners that are using Schramm rigs, they have a better value proposition. They have to invest less in their solution to keep our machines running and know that as the OEM, we're behind them using official OEM goods. This all comes together under the belief of something called aftermarket reinvented. The right part, the right place, right now, powered by DistributionNOW. We expect full implementation of this program by year end. Now, just to summarize just quickly before I move into what I'm extremely excited to share with you is, we know the industry's been challenged. We've looked at core competencies, we've looked at bringing in technologies from different parts of the industries that we serve to find the best ways to help our customers move forward and employ their capital efficiently. We talked a little about some auxiliary drill products that will allow them to get machines back to work and meet compliance requirements. We've talked about expanding our global execution and our footprint to be closer to the customers and have more products to offer to ultimately solve the greatest challenges. And then next, we talked about the redeployment of capital with DistributionNOW and having the ability to support those rigs when they're up and running. As things move forward, we talk about funding innovation. Innovation is going to be the key for all of everyone in the mining community so that we have the safest, the best, the latest in technology, because, oh my God, we have to be be fiscally responsible and efficient with the capital that's entrusted to us by our investors, because I don't think anybody wants to repeat what's happened in the past. We need to learn from that and move it. When you move forward and you look at what's able to do, I am proud to share with you today that Schramm Inc. is introducing its newest rig to join the family of rigs that we produce. And this rig brings together the state-of-the-art technology. It was developed with the input of over 20 mining professionals. What was unique about this machine, more than anything else, was the contribution that individual mining professionals provided to Schramm Inc. So these were people that were customers at mines, the geologists. Over 20 people served as advisors to us to get the best of the input that we could. And we were able to take all of their input and create a machine that would be fit for purpose to solve the toughest challenges. We call it the Fury because that's exactly what it comes back with. It's powerful, it's fast, it has a purpose, and it will be unstoppable. This particular machine has 130,000 pounds of pullback. It is manufactured in Westchester, Pennsylvania, and we take great pride in the fact that there's an American flag flying on top of that rig. Also, with this rig, it gives me great pleasure to announce that Mr. Tyson Thomas, president of Thomas Drilling, will be taking delivery of this machine within the next few weeks here at the close of the show. And he will be available to discuss some of his comments as this machine is deployed to the phosphate mines in the Wyoming and Idaho area. I'd like just to share with you a few moments about what makes the Fury special. And when you look at this, the design criteria, safety comes first, that's a given. Mobility is the hallmark of a Schramm rig. Must have productivity efficiency, we must be able to use big data, and it must be in compliance with all of local and regulatory bodies. From a safety perspective, our operators are out of the zone. We present a hands-free pipe handling solution. You know, I mentioned earlier about core competencies and bringing in the best practices. One of the exciting things that we learned how to do is we learned from the racing industry. So Mr. Thomas will share some of his stories of racing Polaris snowmobiles, but also the race cars. To get weight out of our machine, we are actually using carbon composite material in the control panel. So what was an item that was originally made out of metal at about 180 pounds is now made at 45 pounds. So it's a drastic reduction and improvement. We also work with video game developers. Those video game developers help us find the technology and the joysticks and what makes it exciting for the next generation of workers. Again, for a lot of our industries, whether it's mining or oil and gas or more, drilling is one of those industries that it's not drawing in the kids the way the next generation's not coming through. We went back and said we can add value, we can find some things if we learn from the video gamers. So if you take an opportunity to learn about our control panel and our control systems, it's going to feel like a video game. It's got that influence, it's got that setup, and it's got the touchscreens and the joysticks to make all of that happen. Again, leveraging the best of the industries that we serve and bringing that in and sharing that with the mining community to change a thought process and a paradigm. We get to mobility, again, a hallmark of a Schramm rig. This run is road legal in 48 states with minimal permits required. We've lowered the mobilization costs. And our remote control panel, so it's separated from the machine, allows it to operate in tight spaces. So it's connected to the machine by an umbilical cord, but it can be on the right side, the left side, wherever you'd like to put it in any degree of range of angles, it's available to you. Now my little graphic up there also talks about the turning radius of this machine. We went to a twin steer option on 4 axles to hit not only weights, but has one of the tightest turning radiuses of the rigs in its class. Again, I do need to stress with this, we took the best of the input of the 20 plus individuals who work with the equipment and are mining professionals to hear what their issues and pain were of operating equipment. From a productivity standpoint, it's actually one of the latest innovations. There's actually 2 engines on board this machine. Power takeoff off the truck drives the hydraulics, and then we have a deck engine on board for compressors. So we're able to split the air and the hydraulics. This generates a projected fuel savings of approximately 20%. So historical numbers say that a typical Schramm rig in this class would burn about 32 gallons of fuel per hour. From our calculations, we estimate it to be about 20 gallons per hour now with this new solution. From a drilling speed improvement, which is how fast Mr. Thomas can make hole with this rig, we're expecting a 10 to 15% in turning to the right over current equipment. And the platform design. I don't know how many of you have children. I have 2 boys myself, and one of the fun things that I do get to do when I'm home is play with Legos. And if you've ever gotten to do that, it's really, really cool. You got different color blocks, different color shapes, sizes, all of these things you can create. When you look at a modular design or a platform design, that's what we tried to take into consideration when we worked on this rig. Customers were telling us, listen, if my air pack goes down, I can't lose the rig. Can you swap the air pack out, or can you give me auxiliary air options? That's what we did with this rig. The air pack is completely decoupled from the drilling operation. If they lose the compressor or the air, we flop the compressor off and put a new one on. If we need a different style mast, we'll put a different style mast on for an exploration version versus a large diameter machine. We continue to look for opportunities throughout the design process to modularize what we could. Now, it's a bit trite, but we've all heard the term big data. Data is critical to what we do. It helps us make better decisions. Philip and his guys from an inventory management standpoint will also take some of the data stories. But we have over 500 data collection options available to this rig. So as we work in our consultative approach to develop the rig that's unique to each contractor, we will put on the sensors to get the information that they choose to record. And from that, they'll be able to better price their jobs, better understand their costs, and track the performance of their newest drillers as they play and adapt to the joysticks and the video technology. We'll be able to remotely diagnose and track the performance of those machines from our offices in Westchester, Pennsylvania via our proprietary Schramm network. And we're confident that as Mr. Thomas puts this in the dirt, he'll be asking us all kinds of questions about what is going on, and we'll have to be able to tell him that. So, and lastly, in respect for our environment as responsible miners, we do have to have emissions compliance, which is the Tier 4 final for all onboard power. Again, we are very, very proud, and I go back to the family that created this, all the valued employees, and everybody within the Schramm organization, our investors, our partners, our employees, are grateful for the opportunity to do this product. And we really believe we've got a solution here for the mining community that will drive productivity, efficiency, and safety as we drive to come out of this cycle and really begin to be productive for our stakeholders and our investors. At this time, if there's any questions, we'll be happy to take them here at the panel. And a sincere thank you for your time spent with us. No questions? One of the things we have available, we will have rig tours, and I strongly encourage you to come out and put your hands on the iron. Please check out especially the control panel and the consoles. This afternoon from 4 to 5, we'll have an available slot. Tomorrow from 11 to 12, and also from 4 to 5. Again, it doesn't feel any better until you put your hands on it, climb on it, kick it, do whatever you need to do. It is different, it feels different. We're really excited to share it with the world. So, a sincere thank you, Mr. Dubiak.
Mike, what's the availability of these rigs?
If you place an order today, we'll be happy to have it for you in the first quarter of next year. It is ready. It is, as far as from a Schramm perspective, it is a launched product as of today. It is commercially viable as of now. As far as our success is concerned, at the contractor level and the mining level, we've had people out to see it. We've been showing some pictures of it. People are climbing on it, and if things go well, we'll be building some of these here in the very near future. Yes, sir.
Okay. Will these be available in Australia?
There is right now. We have a 685i that is available in Australia for immediate delivery. Then this will probably be available in Australia in the back half of next year. Yes, sir.
What hole diameters are we talking about?
I'm sorry.
Hole diameters?
Hole diameters. Tim, you want to take that one?
Yeah, well, the rig has a table opening of 30 inches. And that was one of the big things about following low 13, 30 table as much as you put through 30 inches.
Is this in California compliant right now?
Yes, it is. One of the things I think Tim and I spent a lot of time in California during the development phase. You know, one of the things you don't really know a person until you've spent a lot of time with them. You know, I'm married happily for a lot of years, as a lot of the team members at Schramm are, but I think my wife would tell you that my real life is Tim. We covered more than 10,000 miles together, and pretty much said, I've had enough, I don't ever want to see you again. But as we hit the different states, we did spend significant time in California, specifically with the agricultural community up in Fresno.
What's the depth of this thing be able to drill?
It has 130,000 pounds of pullback, so it will depend on the pipe selected, the casing selected. It's an equation. So, Tyson, I don't know if you have any, how deep do you intend to go with this one?
Probably our average depth would be around 12 to 1,500 feet.
Anything else? Again, we encourage you to please come out to the booth, take a look at the iron, let us know your thoughts. A sincere thank you. We wish you a great show.
And if anyone has any one-on-one questions, they're more than happy to answer them.
Guys, thank you.